the pole. God only knows. He was always cold in this land of gold, but it seemed to hold him in a spell, and he'd often say in his homely way that he'd rather be in hell. It was Christmas Day. We were making our way over the Dawson Trail and talking the cold through the park's fold. It pierced like a driven nail. If our eyes be closed and our lashes froze, they sometimes we scarcely could see. It was no fun. But the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed and the stars overhead, they were dancing heel and toe. He turned to me and Cap, says he, I'll cash in this trip I guess, and if I do I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. But he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he said with a sort of a moan, it's the cursed cold that's got right hold and chilled me clean to the bone. Yet it ain't been dead, but the awful dread of an icy grave that pains, and I'm asking you that found her fair, you'll cremate these last remains. The palace last needs a thing to heed, and I swore that I would not fear. We started off with the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched in his lane, he raved all day of his home back in Tennessee. And by nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. Now there wasn't a breath in that land of death. As I hurried, horror-driven, with a corpse half hid I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. He was lashed to the sleigh and it seems to say, you may tax your brawn and your brain, but your promise true and it's up to you to cremate these last remains. Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trade has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were numb, in my heart have I cursed that load. The long, long nights, and the old fireside, and the huskies round and ring, howled out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I hated that thing. Then every day that quiet clay seemed to heavier and heavier grow. But on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad and I felt half mad, for I swore I would not give in, and I'd often sing to that hateful thing, and it just happened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Barge, and a dirty there lay. It was jammed in the ice, and I saw it thrice. It was named the Alice May. I stopped at it and thought of it, then looked at my frozen chum, and here, said I with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin door and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found I was lying around and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared and the furnace roared, so it should blaze you seldom to see. Then I burrowed the hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made for a hike, for I didn't lie to him, sizzle so, but heavens howled and the husky scowled and the winds began to blow. It was ice cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why the greasy smoke and inky cloak, it went streaking through the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and danced about, where again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said I'll just take a peek inside. I guess he's cooked, and as time I looked, then that door I opened wide, and there sat Sam looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. He wore a smile, you could see in mine. He said, please close that door, I'm warm in here and I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and the storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, this is the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done beneath the midnight sun by those men who mine for gold. And the Arctic trails with their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Barge, I cremated Sam McGee.